In this lesson we're going to take a look at Jerry Garcia's song Sugaree, which is from his 1972 album, Garcia. Some great songs on that album. I hope everybody has it. You probably do if you're checking out this lesson. And before I play any of it, I want you to listen to it. I want you to go, get out the album, the CD, hit up iTunes for it, or Amazon, or track down some YouTube videos, and just see if you can get a feel for what's going on. It's typical of a lot of Jerry Garcia songs. Well, this one uses all chords from one key, which is not always typical. Many of his songs kind of change keys, but this one only uses chords from one key. It doesn't necessarily revolve around chord 1. There's a big hint. And we're also going to talk about some of the little secondary guitar parts. Like he could be playing an A chord and a D chord. And you might hear little things, we'll talk about using triads. So hopefully you've seen my lesson on triads called Lead Secrets. And if the song was just going back and forth between A and D, we could use the little E shape at the 5th fret for A and the little A shape at the 5th fret for D. We also use D shapes. Anyway, I'll talk about all that a little bit later. But we will talk about playing leads over this particular progression as well. Now, we're not going to learn any of Jerry's leads exactly because they're always different. But we'll just talk about where he might be playing some of the stuff in there. So, okay, that's it. Go listen to it first. In the next segment, I will play through it kind of blindly, and then you can hear what the guitar just does and see if you can pick out the chords. Listen for whether they seem like they're the major chords in the key or when there are minor chords and all that kind of thing. So, coming up, a lesson on Sugaree. Hopefully, what you heard with those first two chords that go back and forth for the first 8 measures, 2 chords in the verse, were that there were chords that were 1 and 4 in a key. Or 1 and 5, depending on which key we're in. One of the things we hear Jerry doing in this song, in the studio version particularly, is little 3-string arpeggios of chords. Now, if I was playing a D chord, I could just put the chord down and I just hit the strings one at a time. Well, if I move that up to the 4th fret, it would be an E chord. So sometimes we hear a guitar this would again be a second guitar part, playing like rather than playing the B and just strumming it like we'd want the main rhythm guitar doing, and E back and forth, we might want to just be picking out the top 3 strings of different voicings of those chords. The B chord could be just this, and the E. And what I'm doing picking wise, just going straight, playing the notes in a little repetition of 3. So we don't really hear this clearly on the record until the F sharp minor comes in, and that's when. So we hear the B and the E back and forth, and sometimes there's just a little bit of noodling going around. Pretty much out of wherever you can play an A chord, wherever the notes that would be on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, is a good place to break out pattern 6 of the pentatonic scales.